Tom Cooke loves working with small business owners. Either you're trying to, you come out of corporate and thinking, I want to start my business, or you're still sitting on the edge. You can give us a bit more. But he's helped people to come out of corporate or employee to become business owners. And not only that, he's helped business owners to grow their business as well. So, hey, Tom, happy to have this conversation with you here.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Thank you very much for having me on. And I know it's great to be here because I know from your experience as well, from what I've been through, what I've helped my own audience with as well. This is going to be awesome. So I know we can add a lot of value here.
So on the Business and Wealth Show today, we are coming across very, very different. It's very much Q&A. Ask Mac anything, ask Tom anything. So I'm not interviewing one of our external guests, but Tom is partner of mine in our business coaching business. And as I said, he's one of our master coaches. So Tom, I know you've got a number of questions. So let's have this conversation. And I know some of the questions you'll have, some of our audience would have those questions as well. So let's kick off. Anything you want to say?
Okay, so the first thing I want to ask, because I know, so for you, it was about 20 years ago that you started with business, right? And I want to know, what is it that you see as the biggest challenge now for people who are either thinking about starting a business or who are kind of in the first 12 months, the first 18 months of business? What do you think is the biggest challenge that they're facing, and how can they deal with that?
All right, great question there. Straight off the bat, not wasting any time. So I've been an entrepreneur for over 24 years now.
24.
When I started, for me, it wasn't that easy. So 24 years ago, remember, we had no Facebook, no Instagram. No one was telling you, go and do your social media, go and do your Twitter. There was no such thing. And I remember when I started, to attract clients, I put adverts in things like something called Thompson's Directory. I don't know if you ever remember that. Things like Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
It's like there was something called Scoot. So you had to put adverts months in advance hopefully for your phone to ring, not even someone to go to your website, hopefully for your phone to ring. So these days, with so much technology around, what people forget is this, that yes, social media is important, but there are other ways to reach your ideal client. And the best way to think about it is this: your ideal client has got some kind of a problem or a challenge, otherwise they don't need you. So if they've got some kind of a problem or a challenge, and you have the solution, well, you've got to get a message across to them, say, hey, I know you've got this problem. I've got this solution, which will help you get the result you want. Are you interested? Call to action. Phone me, message me, DM me, send me a video, do something. And so that's what most people forget, that it doesn't have to be one channel. Once you know who your ideal client is, Tom, then it's a case of asking yourself, where do they hang out? Where are they? How can I reach them? So it might be Twitter, it might be Instagram, it might be doing flyers and posting it to their houses. It might be exhibitions, it might be seminars, it might be speaking. So although technology or marketing channels may change and evolve, but the essence of marketing is still the same. So if you've started your business and in the first 12 months, you're thinking, oh, I need more clients, I need more customers. How do I do that? Go back to basics and say, who's got a problem? Where do they hang out? And what am I saying to them so they come towards me? Attraction-based marketing. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, big time. And I think to add to that as well is I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. And it's got to be, you've got to be able to articulate the problem and be able to say the words very, very clearly, so it interrupts that conversation in the head. Because now, like you say, there wasn't all this social media channels, it wasn't Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. So now there is so much noise out there in the marketplace, people with similar products, similar services. So you really have to be clinical with what that problem is. And I see this is where people trip up, is they have a sense of what the problem is, but they can't articulate it and they can't say it to people. So then people just carry on scrolling.
That's right.
Nobody goes to them.
Well, that's exactly what happens. You see, and you mentioned they're not able to. They may understand it, they're not able to articulate it. If you can't articulate it, you can't get the right messaging out. Whether you're doing a Facebook Live, Instagram Live, or you're doing your website, or you're doing your bio, whatever it is, if you can't articulate it, then it's very, very difficult. And often that's why people need people like me and you, Tom, coach that can sit down with them and ask them the right questions. And when they get out of their head, they say, oh, that's what a problem is. That's what's keeping them up at night. See, that's why it's important that we do the work we do, Tom.
That's the great question, is the what's keeping them up at night. And that's how you made me feel when I first started working with you. It was the way it was the way that you made me feel. And I just knew that this is the person. There were so many people out there, but I just knew that you were the person that could help me, that could support me on that journey. But it's because of the way that you said it, and that's how it made me feel. And that's what we've got to do to serve our customers. That's how we have to help them, by helping them feel that certain way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so let me ask this as well. What was, and I think I might know the moment that you go to, but I'll be interested to hear if you get another moment. What was the pivotal moment for you in your life that significantly contributed then to your own success that you have today? And how did that experience kind of change the way that you approach business, the way that you approach building wealth as well?
Great question there, Tom. So a significant milestone or change for me was this. There was a time when I was totally broke and I was struggling. This was about 20 years ago when my business partners had cheated on me. I've had to borrow money on credit cards and loans. I was over 100 grand in debt. And I was at my lowest point. It's a time when my wife was pregnant with our second child. And imagine, Tom, that I was hardly around for the first few years of our first child. And so I was in this hole where I'm in debt. I'm not enjoying my life. I'm struggling. Things are not going well. And there came a point when I thought something needs to change. At my lowest point, I got this aha, what something needs to change. And the moment I made that decision that something needs to change, because the question I was asking myself, how do successful people become successful, especially in business, in wealth, in money, in happiness, and how? Because it's certainly something I don't know. And that question led me on a journey of self-discovery. And that self-discovery led me to finding mentors and coaches and various seminars and workshops, which allowed me then to start changing this thing here. The most powerful tool I believe we have as entrepreneurs or as coaches, as consultants, it doesn't matter, is this here, our mind. Our mind. And if you can manage your mind well, you can move towards success much quicker. Most people have what I call stinking thinking, right? Stinking thinking. In other words, they want to achieve certain things, but they may be listening to the wrong people. Listening to people who have never done it, and their mindset is stuck in a way that they're never going to grow. And the other thing is that I learned is at the time I had what's called a fixed mindset. When I was struggling, I thought, this is my way. This is my way. This is my way. Clearly, there was something wrong with that, Tom, because it wasn't working. And so what I learned later on is this, that it's better to have what's called a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. And a growth mindset is, yes, there are going to be challenges. Yes, things are not always going to go your way, but are you willing to learn and apply and really change? And if you're willing to do that, then you can move forward much faster. So I think the milestone was finding workshops and seminars and mentors and coaches who just helped me change that mindset that I had at the time.
To add to that, then, why do you think that people don't work on their mindset? Because I see it everywhere. I see the videos of people, talking, we've got to work on this. So then consciously and logically, we feel like, yeah, okay, we need to have a better mindset. What do you think stops people working on it?
I think people don't know what they don't know. Often what happens is this, when someone gets into a place where it's really uncomfortable
Yeah.
and they think, well, enough is enough, that's when they are likely to change or want to change. Up until then, maybe they're thinking, well, this is my way or the highway. This is my way. This is where I'm going to do it. And when things become painful not to change, people then embark on that journey to change. And that journey means that, look, if this knowledge I have, this information I have has got me here, but right now it's really not getting me where I need to go. I need to upgrade my knowledge. I need to upgrade as you, from a technology point of view. If this was your hard drive or your computer, you've got to upgrade that computer because it's now not working the way you really want it to work. So you've got to upgrade yourself. And people don't do that because one, there's not enough pain, or two, they think they know it all. And three, really often it's a lack of self-awareness. Lack of self-awareness. I think that often that's what happens.
Yeah, and those keywords you said, I know it all. You teach it as well. It's like, I know that. Well, when you truly know it, you can demonstrate it and you can do it. And I've been guilty of that in the past. Yeah, but I've heard of that before. I've heard of that strategy before. I know that. But then it's when you're doing it, that's when you truly know it. And I noticed that's where new entrepreneurs trip up is, well, I've seen the videos online or I've watched the YouTube videos. Yeah, I know everything. It's okay, and then that stops them getting themselves educated, stops the learning, and keeps them closed-minded.
So
And
let me add this to it as well. You know, you've worked with so many people to help them quit their job and actually live the life they want to live. You've helped them quit their job and start their business. Now, think about what was stopping them quitting their job. What was stopping them really moving towards a lifestyle that they really, really desired, right? What was really going on for them? What would you say? I mean, part of it is security or money or job security, that kind of stuff.
I think the biggest thing is I noticed that people don't believe in themselves that they can do it. That they're not good enough. It's that fear that comes up. It's that fear of failure. It's that fear of money, as you said, the security. Not, it's just the belief that it's the belief that's not there. And hey, I don't think I'm cut out to be an entrepreneur. And that's what stops people.
Yeah, that's what stops. Yeah. So here's the thing. You touch on a word there, Tom, belief. I don't believe I'm good enough to do this. I'm not going to do it because I don't have that belief, right? If I don't believe that I've got what it takes to start a business, I won't do it because I don't have that belief. If I don't believe I've got what it takes to grow a business, well, I'm going to stay comfortable because I'm okay. So I love the notion, what you just said about they don't believe. And believe is such a big thing.
And something that really hit me and that I'm sharing with a lot of people is why not you and why not now? And somebody said this to me and I thought it was brilliant because it's so true. Because for every person, no matter what your situation, maybe you've just started a business or maybe you're thinking about starting, doesn't matter what your background is, you can start a business. There is something out there for you to do. There is a way for you to help people. There is a way that is aligned with you. And you know, you have every right to be successful and have that dream lifestyle as much as the people who are already there. As long as you're willing, when you were going through the tough time, you made that decision and you realized something had to change. And that's that. I think that's all it takes is that decision that, hey, I'm going to do something else with my life and putting your kind of foot in the sand and saying, hey, I'm doing something different.
Absolutely. You got it. You got it there.
Okay, so what about then? So if we talked a little bit about building wealth as well. What's your preferred strategy for building wealth? What do you think works best, is the most effective? And do you think there's anything when it comes to building wealth that's underrated at the moment?
Okay. Okay. Let Great question. Great question here. when it comes to building wealth, there are some things that you have to have in place. Number one, because not everybody wants to build wealth. Remember, most people start their business for income, to pay the bills. That is it. I'm in this business. How's it going? Well, it pays the bills. And most people are like that. Now, having the notion of building my business for wealth means that you've got to think about it differently. You've got to have the end in mind. So what we're saying then is you're building your business as an asset. And that asset is designed to generate cash, to generate money. Anyone in business, the number one, why do we start a business? We've got to understand the reason why we started a business is to make money.
Yeah.
Is it, right? Not because I like it, or yeah, you could love your business, no problem. Not because, to add value. Yes, you have to add value. It's common sense, but it's to make money above all. It's to make money. Now, when I say making, and so there's two ways that people make money in business. One is what we call a lifestyle business. And that lifestyle business is, look, it needs me. I'll do a few hours here. I work all day. And if I need to be there and it pays me, right. Now, if something happens to you and you're not there for 3 months, 6 months, what happens to that business? Right. Okay, that's a lifestyle business. That answers itself. So the other way, which you asked, is build wealth. So you can build wealth through business and other vehicles. My chosen vehicles are predominantly business, real estate property, and also stocks and cryptos. Those are my predominant wealth vehicles. But so the business I enjoy the most of all of my businesses is the education business, adding value to other people's lives and other people's business. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. Build your business to make a lot of money, systemize it, get it to a place maybe it doesn't need you, over reliant on you. But at the same time, if that business can generate a lot of cash, you can put it into other asset vehicles. And they won't tell you that out there. So you could have, let's say you've got enough profit coming through, you can put it into other asset vehicles, whether it's property or otherwise, and let that generate cash for you as well. So if you can't be in your business and it's systemized and it's you've got the right team in place and it's making money for you, great. But what if the economy changes and the demand for your particular business services are no longer required? But if you've got other asset classes, guess what? That may still be generating cash for you. Now you're not worried about business. And that's the principle of wealth creation that I started using. My wife and I started using many years ago now, more than 15 years ago now. We started using that principle and say, okay, how do we diversify and have other asset allocations so that whatever vehicle it is, it generates cash. So we're not relying on one vehicle at all. I hope that answers your question. I think there was something towards your end.
Yeah, and it was also like, what is in terms of building wealth, what do you think is underrated now? And I'm not talking about, what's the next big best investment opportunity. I'm just, what do you think people now are missing out on or not doing or skipping on that they should be doing?
See, I think it's more from a mindset point of view. We talked about mindset in the early part of the show. And if you want to create wealth, you have to have the right mindset for wealth creation. Remember, business is there to make money. And we want to create freedom as well. So that business is still rewarding us, whether we're working in it or not. So having the right mindset, say, okay, I'm going to turn this business into a wealth generating business. Cash. So we want to change create our business into a cash generating business. And it's a ATM, automated teller machine, right? So it's giving you money, but it takes a different mindset to be able to create something like that. It takes a different mindset because most entrepreneurs are what we call business operators.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, over 90% of the businesses in the UK, we're both based in the UK, over 90% of all the businesses in the UK, over 90% are small to medium-sized businesses. small to medium-sized businesses. The majority are, and the majority of those are one-man bands. One-man bands. In other words, that business relies on them. And you asked a question earlier on, Tom, about how do you do this? Well, if you want to have a business that just doesn't rely on you, then you've got to learn how to do this, learn how to put the right systems in place, and learn how to find the right talent to follow those systems that you can coach them, you can mentor them, you can help them, you can advise them so they can do those things, whether you're there or not. So so the mindset from business operator to business owner is so important. Without that mindset, nothing really changes. So when you ask that question, it takes me directly to, if you're a business operator, you will struggle for years and years to come. If you change your mindset to business owner, you set up your business you set it up all differently with the end in mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the big word that from what you're saying as well, the big word, and I see it in what you do, the big word is focus, and is that ability to just stick to that one, the end in mind. I know where I'm going, and you be able to focus on that and keep yourself on that. It's easy when you're starting business. Well, I'll do a bit of this, do a bit of that, do a bit of this. It just slows you down, but you actually end up in a roundabout way. You actually end up speeding up by just focusing on that one thing. As you said, get the cash flow in, so then you can systemize, you can put the processes in place to scale in there. So yeah, that's the word I'm picking up from that. And for you now on this topic on mindset, because I don't think anybody is immune to not having a tough day. I think we all have tough days and periods of time which are down. How do you keep yourself, if you're experiencing maybe it's a tough day, a tough week, how do you keep yourself going? How do you get yourself one foot in front of the other, keep yourself moving forward?
Great question. Great question. The easy answer is breathe. Breathe. And then I'm going to go deeper into that, what I mean by breathe. When we have a lot going on and there's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, people start breathing in a very shallow way. And that shallow breathing starts creating headaches or symptoms of ill health in their body. So the longer answer for me is every morning when I wake up, I meditate and I work on my breath. I ground myself and I set intention for the day. In other words, what kind of day do I want to have? Rather than what most people do is they run around all morning answering emails, WhatsApp messages, Telegram messages, all these things, and never actually have the time for themselves. And so my morning routine is so important for me to create the kind of day I want. And so I do that from a mind, body, spirit point of view in terms of what I'm eating, what I'm putting into my mind, how I prepare my day, and how I'm training. So my training, my body gets trained every morning. And my preferred style is two main things. One is I rebound the body. I use a little rebounder. You'll think, what's a rebounder? It's like a little trampoline, little tiny trampoline, but it invigorates the body, wakes the body up. And the other thing, I do martial arts practice. My teacher, Grandmaster Trevor Nichols, either I'm training with him at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning, or I'm training by myself to get my body moving. I think it's so important for me to move my body. And here's the benefit of moving the body. And I'm sure you have your own routine as well, you could tell us about. But the adrenaline, the blood rush, the chemicals in the body, the endorphins that are released, like, wow, I'm ready for today. I'm ready for today, rather than most people like, oh, another day. No, set up your day how you want it before you start giving your energy to other people. What's yours? What do you do?
So for me, so this is a great question because mine has changed over. I used to go to the gym first thing in the day. I would get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. I'd be in the gym working out. And it was great because then it was done. I didn't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. And that was when I was in a job. And then when I went into business and I quit my job, I kept going with that routine. However, what I noticed is I am a morning person. I get my most of my energy in the morning. In the afternoon, that's when it starts to dip. So what I've actually found is now for my own energy management, I wake up in the morning, I'll enjoy coffee with my girlfriend. We'll just have like present with each other. I do my gratitude process. And again, with the gratitude process, it's easy to go, look, a gratitude process doesn't directly put money in your bank account, but I have seen the difference when I do it, and I have seen the difference when I don't do it. And there'll be a period of time I'm not winning, and then I'll go, wait, what? What have I stopped doing? Oh, my gratitude process, and it puts me in a better frame of mind. I can face the day, and I'm stronger in my own headspace after doing it. But then I go to the gym about kind of late morning, middle of the day, and that's perfect because now that pushes me through the afternoon with that extra energy burst. And I think as you evolve in business, it is about looking after your energy. And then everybody's different, and you can start tailoring your routines as you develop so that you can get the most out of your day.
Absolutely. You know, you said it right there, Tom, that everyone's different. You know, my routine works for me. You know what routine works for you. And so following that gets yourself into you see, success comes from habits. I'll say that again.
Yeah.
Success comes from habits. I don't care who you are, whether you're a top celebrity, whether you are athletics runner, or it doesn't matter. Whatever success you want, if you don't have the right habits, there's no way you can reach it. And guess what? Habits comes from thinking.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right thoughts, you can't develop the right habits. You see, the right thinking leads to the right beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I think this, I think so, I am. So you think it, believe it, develop the habits around it, and those habits can give you consistent success or consistent results that you're looking for. So it's a great question that you just asked there.
Yeah, and people can deny that process, but at the end of the day, they're going to end up with a set of results, and it's just through physical laws of the universe that is still going to happen. And as you say, whatever is up in your head, it's going to lead to those beliefs, which is going to lead to the action and the results that you get.
Yeah.
Now, with everything that we have now with social media, I think this is a very poignant question. What is your view on the pursuit of growing a business, the pursuit of success and happiness? And what would you say to people who are struggling to balance those two aspects? Because that I see people growing a business, but they're sacrificing that happiness. And it's consuming them. The mental health is getting worse and worse. The physical health is getting worse and worse. So what's your view on that?
Right. Excellent. You know, it's a great question, Tom. How do you create a successful business and also have a great and successful life?
Yeah.
Right. And so I've been on the opposite of what I have now, where I was broke, my health was deteriorating, my wife, the arguments and relationship with my wife wasn't a great place. And I know what out of balance looks like. And I was resisting using the word balance. And what I'll tell you what defined it for me. Several years ago, I interviewed Dr. Ivan Meisner, who's the founder of BNI, Business Network International, largest business networking organization in the world. And I asked him a similar question. I said, how do you create a business like BNI? You're traveling from state to state, country to country. You have a family. You have children. How do you balance all that? And you know what he said to me? He said, Mac, it's not about balance. It's about harmony.
Mm.
Harmony. And what he meant by that is, yes, do the things you need to do, but when you are doing it, be present and do it well. So he said, when I'm doing my BNI stuff, I'm doing it. But when I'm at home and I'm with my wife, I'm present.
Yeah.
When I'm with my child, I'm present. And he talks about being in harmony in all areas of your life, not balance. Because sometimes 1 month it'll be mostly business, and the other months it'll be mostly vacation. But have the harmony, and that harmony goes to your body, your health. That harmony goes in regards to your money, your business, your family, the whole thing, your children. And so I stopped using the term balance and I started using the term harmony. Harmony, right? And so I hope that makes sense. So how can you be in harmony and feel okay with what you're doing? Because for some people, they think, well, I'm going to work 7 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, and I'm going to be with my wife and my children for the evening. I'm going to get this amount of sleep or whatever. But depending on what you're doing and level you're playing at, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And so, for example, there came a time where I was in demand all over the world to come and speak. And I had a quandary. And I had to sit down with my wife and kids and say, I'm getting these opportunities to come and speak in this country and that country and do this and do this. And we all had a discussion about it. And I said, shall I do it? Shall I not do it? Or shall I be at home most of the time? And they all said, Dad, do it, right? I had a conversation with them. And my wife knows my mission, which is to inspire, educate, and empower people to live a life of joy, courage, passion, purpose. Do I do that while my kids are still young? Or do I just wait till they're 18, 19, 20, leave home, and then I go and do it? But that could be 10, 15 years gone.
Yeah.
Right? In the last, with the conversation with my family, in the last 12 years alone, I've now traveled to over 50 countries and trained over 200,000 people in those all over the world. Now, I could have let those 12 or 15 years go and then waited till in a couple of years, our youngest child will be 18 and he'll be off to university. Then do I start there now? What about all those people who needed me? So
yes.
When I started doing that, the harmony came from every single holiday they have. The idea is that I'll be at home. So whether it's an Easter break, Christmas break, summer break, and we'll go off, we'll go do something else. And that's a harmony that we created. Every single year when I get invited to different places, at the end of the beginning of the year, I point out and I really program all the key dates in.
Yeah.
My wedding anniversary, the children's birthdays, all the key things that need to happen, I block it out. Nobody else is getting in there.
Yep.
That's the harmony I'm talking about. Every day when I wake up, I'm looking after me, my self-care through meditation, prayer, and exercise, and the food and drink I eat. I'm looking after me. Then I'm going to give me to other people. That's the harmony. Does that make sense?
Definitely. And through the work that we do, how we help people is presence. And you achieve more. You become your best self. Your results get bigger just by being present. So yeah, loved it. Yeah, thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. Hey, Tom has been doing Q&A with me here. I hope you've been all enjoying listening. If you have questions about what Mindspace Coaching does, that's the name of our company, and how we help people to change their mind, to grow their business, to turn around their business, feel free to message myself or Tom and see how we can support you. But today was a very different type of podcast. We just wanted to have Q&A, get to know Tom, get to know Mac, see how we think. Above all, if this adds any value to you, remember to give us a thumbs up, give us some kind of emoji, give us a like, so make sure you subscribe or follow, depending on which channel you are on. Okay, Tom, any last words before we finish for today?
No, that's it. Thank you very much, Mac. Very insightful, and it's good just to pick your brain and get that info and get that value out of you.
Superb. All right, everyone, take care. Thank you. Until we meet next time, keep on growing your business, not just for income, but have wealth in mind. Grow your business for wealth. And that wealth can come in form of money, in terms of freedom, in terms of your family, in terms of health, all of it, because you deserve it. Take care. Bye for now.